everyone. Just wanted to come to you today and give you an update of where we are and also talk a little bit about commissioner age eligibility. Wanted to remind you too that we do have a Zoom meeting on August 27th, so watch your email for that link. Um, Currently, we have 187 units, and 87 of those units have not been contacted. At least there's no connections recorded. So, just a reminder, without recording those connections, we assume they have not been contacted. 90 of those units have been contacted 5 or more times. So, we have a good balance there. We have just as many with no connections as we have those that are being contacted quite often, but wanted to bring up the subject of commissioner age eligibility so that it might give us some discussion on our Zoom meeting on August 27th. So just wanted to let you know that this came about after the 2026 National Annual Meeting, and I just want us all to understand why the change was needed and how we might be able to address some common questions about this change, and also how we can support the implementation of the change. So, beginning at the 2026 National Annual Meeting, adults age 18 and older are eligible to register as commissioners. They can be unit commissioners, roundtable commissioners, assistant district commissioners, or assistant council commissioners. This is an additional option for councils and districts. It's not a mandate. However, the purpose is simple. We want to strengthen support to units by widening the commissioner pipeline. And this does not replace experienced commissioners. It just adds capable new adults to the team. So why is this change needed? Well, frankly, we need more commissioners. Many councils across the nation need stronger unit coverage, and Buckeye Council is no different. And more commissioners mean more consistent support to unit leaders. And the better commissioner coverage helps to build unit health, leader retention, and program quality. Um, Basically, we already have a leadership pipeline. Those scouts that are aging out or scouters ages 18 to 35 often already understand unit operations. They understand youth leadership, the patrol method, and the current program delivery. And many are already leading teams. Could be that they're staffing NYLT, could be that they're serving in the OA, or even supporting their home units. And if we wait until later adulthood, many of those talented volunteers drift away and they may never come back. They may not bring their own kids back to the scouting program. So, this creates adult volunteering relationships when their connection to scouting is strongest. And so, one of the things I want to discuss at our meeting on the 27th is how might this change affect your district's commissioner pipeline? So think about that and be ready to discuss. Well, I'm sure you're asking yourself, 18, are they too young? Well, 18, they are adults. Um, Many of them have already led teams, they've planned programs, they've staffed major training, and they've worked alongside other adult volunteers. You may say, well, maybe they'll be junior commissioners working alongside other commissioners. No, a commissioner is a commissioner. Expectations and standards are the same. What changes is the entry point. Are they going to replace the current commissioners? I hope not, because we need you along with many more commissioners. This just expands the pool. And experienced commissioners remain essential. Their judgment, their relationships, and coaching are more important than ever and can help in this implementation process. And last, you might say, well, will units accept them? And yes, I believe units are, if we're providing unit service, units will accept commissioners. But introductions are thoughtful, and units need confidence, not novelty, and a warm handoff, clear framing and good assignments matter. So we need to make sure that as we bring on new commissioners, we explain to the units how they are there to help them. So you might just say, why not just use Scout or Reserve? And so this is a different strategy. The goal is to retain young adults when their connection to scouting is strongest. And so using the Scout or Reserve might give us some names of people that we can call on to be unit commissioners. And then you might say, well, can an 18-year-old serve as a unit commissioner for their venturing crew or Sea Scout ship? And I would just say that adult volunteers aged 18 to 21 should not serve as a unit commissioner for a unit in which they are an active program participant. But they can be serving as a unit commissioner for a troop. They are subject to the same safeguarding youth guidelines as other adult scouters, serving in both roles as an adult program participant and an adult volunteer. But let's let them enjoy being a member of a venturing crew or a Sea Scout ship. So, another question I'm going to ask that we can discuss is, what pushback have you heard or can you anticipate with this rollout? And how would you address it? So I hope some of you will come up with those, some answers, some discussion. So again, what pushback have you heard or could anticipate with this, and how would you address it? So how can we implement the change? Local discretion remains. Councils and districts decide how and when to implement. But I'm sure you could all use some more commissioners. And the council and district commissioners should consider any new commissioner's maturity and readiness. And assignment quality matters. So start with good matches. Healthy units need supportive leadership, and that leadership are often the first. Okay, let me say that again. Okay. Assignment quality matters. So we need to start with good matches. So healthy units with supportive leadership are often the best first assignments for newer commissioners. And we also don't want to give cold introductions. We need a personal handoff from a district commissioner, an assistant district commissioner, or an experienced commissioner. No new commissioner should be sent in without a warm introduction. We need to coach early and often. The commissioner mentor is even more critical. So check in consistently and ensure the commissioner feels supportive and effective. So these commissioners, like any new commissioner, whether they be 18, 30, 40, there needs to be a mentor so that the commissioners know what's expected. And so those mentoring commissioners need to check in and make sure that the new unit commissioner is feeling supportive and effective. And then safeguarding stays foundational. Age eligibility changes do not alter standards of conduct. Professional boundaries and trusted unit environments remain non-negotiable. So let's not stop there. We need to keep developing commissioners, and we also need to keep recognizing commissioners. So we need to have personal interaction by the assistant district commissioner or the district commissioner, showing interest in unit visits and the use of commissioner tools. Again, let me go back to the use of commissioner tools. We have 87 units without connections on commissioner tools. Now, I'm not saying you're not contacting those commissioners, those units. The commissioners aren't out there contacting those units. But unless you're using commissioner tools, we don't know. And so if we need training to use those commissioner tools, just please let me know. Because continuous training at district commissioner meetings and the Commissioner College and the Philmont Training Center are always available. And then we need to recognize our commissioners, those that have taken the training. We've got the Arrowhead Honor, the Commissioner Award of Excellence in Unit Service, and the Commissioner's Key. So the key is that we need to look for and welcome commissioners. but the way we've looked at them has changed. The way we support and recognize them has not. So the only difference is that we can take commissioners as early as 18 years old. So really think about those units that have scouters, um, young adults that are aging out, and how can we keep them involved? Because that's where our volunteers are going to come from. So who will be the champion? So, who at the district level will communicate their belief and support of elevating commissioners of all ages to improve unit service? That's a question. Who at the district level will communicate their belief and support of elevating commissioners of all ages to improve unit service? If you, as the district commissioner, don't feel like you can do that, then let's look for an assistant district commissioner who can. Who's going to acknowledge the concerns? Not everybody is going to embrace this right away. And we need to assure experienced commissioners that this isn't a displacement. It's an invitation to share what they've built with a new generation. And we need to communicate in layers. Current commissioners should see the need for more people to support unit service. If you're not looking for new commissioners, that's telling me that you can do it all. But again, 87 units do not have connections. So we're not doing it all. And 10 out of the 43 commissioners are the ones that have made those connections. So where are the other 33 commissioners? Let's get out there and really communicate the importance of using commissioner tools. And those other 33 commissioners, I'm sure you will say you could use more help. Unit leaders also need to see that being a commissioner supports a vibrant program and is a logical next step in a young person's leadership journey. Commissioners need to feel genuinely invited and welcome, not just part of an eligibility change. So if you know somebody, let's invite them. Invite them to the picnic in September so that they can meet everyone, and then we can go from there. So let's start thinking about those young scouters and how we can get them involved and invite them to the picnic in September. And then we need to plan for the long term. This change sticks only if we keep it visible. We need to recognize new commissioners at roundtables. We need to give them presence at Commissioner College. And the culture won't shift on its own. It follows what we celebrate. And we need to celebrate excellent work and good team building. I'm excited to build a bigger team. So, just some things to close and could be some more discussion points in on August 27th. But training programs open the door. And so what happens next is up to us. The commissioner culture isn't written in a handbook. It's passed from person to person, one relationship at a time. And new commissioners need to be welcomed in, not left to find their own way. The 2026 age eligibility change gives us more people to invest in. We need to meet them with good assignments, strong coaching, and your own example. And somewhere along the way, you'll gain friendships you didn't expect. That's always been part of this work, is building relationships. So what do we do next? I want you to think about who in your area will help carry this message. Those are your champions. I want you to know your best commissioner candidates and who is the right person to sit down with each of them. And then I want you to invest in your mentors. They are the face of commissioner culture to everyone coming in behind them. We spent years teaching leadership. This change gives those skills a new assignment. As commissioners, we have helped build the program. Now you can help build the people who will carry it forward. Along with that, the Great Trail Council is having their College of Commissioner Science on September 26th. Byron has these little cards. So September 26th at the Lifestone Ministries in Medina. So if you haven't signed up for that, this would be a great way to spend the day together learning some new skills. So again, we'll see you via Zoom on August 27th. Hopefully, we will see you at the picnic on September 24th, and then again at the College of Commissioner Science on September 26th. So I'm emailing you, along with a link to this video, a Commissioner Moments Impact Takeaway Worksheet. So this tool is going to help you reflect on this topic, and it might give you some things that we can use to discuss on August 27th. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. I also, hopefully, you all made it out to summer camp, but let's now switch over gears to recruit, 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 retain, retain, retain. And we do that by recruiting commissioners and retaining those commissioners. Thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you in person in September.